my view of life after divorce, that your life can be better than anything you had before, and it can be better than you can imagine, even while you're going through the pit of divorce for those of you that are still in it. And here's your first responsibility. Your responsibility is to work on you. Above everything else, work on you. Stop looking for a better woman. Stop going out there and looking for a rebound relationship. Don't try to go out there and find a better woman until you become a better man, because that is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to become a better man. And these are things that my mentor shared with me that just was transformational for me. And this is one thing that he said. He says, choose yourself. Stop going out there and trying to choose the next woman. Choose yourself. Learn to be enough. Learn to be enough without a woman, without needing a woman to validate that you're worthy, that you're enough, without depending on her and making her the center of your life. This is a recipe for disaster in a relationship, is when you think that a woman, I need this relationship to be whole. Like in Jerry Maguire, the famous line with Tom Cruise to, I can't remember her name, but he said, "You complete me." My friend, that's dysfunctional. Okay, so it makes great movie. It's great romance, but it's horrible in relationship. If you need a woman to complete you, you are needy. You are not a whole man. And the problem is, if you need her to complete you, that makes you needy and dependent on her. And a queen does not want a king who is dependent on her to be okay. Because if you can't stand on your own 2 feet and you can't stand up without her, how can you stand up for her? So there's so much to talk about here. But you've got to be the man, a whole man, okay? A woman can never make a broken man whole or an empty man full. She can't do it. But she can definitely bless the life of a man who is whole and knows that he is enough. When you don't need a woman, it frees you to want that relationship, to want her in a way that can be 100% committed, because I'm not needing her to survive. I'm wanting her to fulfill a piece of me that just makes my life better. And it's a massive distinction. So choose yourself. Number 2, provide for yourself. Before you start going and diving into the next relationship, establish your kingdom and establish a kingdom of abundance before you start going out and looking for a new queen. You're not ready for a new queen until you have established your kingdom where you have stability and abundance in your life and your finances. Because a peasant who wins a queen, even if you can attract her, that relationship is doomed. Because a queen is not going to be able to handle a relationship with a peasant. And she's not going to become a peasant with you. If you want a true queen and you want this beautiful, hot woman, and like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to find me this hot young thing. I had a guy I was talking to the other day. It's like, I want to find this hot young thing that we can have great sex. And I'm like, dude, you're a fat fart. Look at you. She's not going to want to be with you. And you're broke. A queen, that's not what they're looking for. Now, there's so many things to say here. The toll of divorce on your whole life is dramatic, and I'll be talking a lot about this. But here's 3 things that you got to do. If you right now are in the middle of that divorce pit, whether you're going into the divorce, whether you're in the middle of the divorce, or the divorce is final and you're still finding yourself struggling with getting over it and moving on with your life, here's 3 things, just 3 words, 3 key words of how you got to approach a frame of 3 things you need to focus on. Number 1 is permission. Give yourself permission to rise. Give yourself permission to choose you. Permission to be your center of attention and your focus. I'm not talking about narcissism. I'm talking about just like when you're on an airline and they say in case of emergency, if the oxygen mask drops down, you take care of yourself first. Put the mask on yourself first and then help others. Because my friend, you are the one who is responsible in the relationship and in your family. So your responsibility is first to take care of yourself. Okay? The king must survive. So think of yourself as the king, as the leader of your family. You're the king. I'm not talking about being a tyrant. I'm not talking about being authoritarian. I'm talking about being the ultimate leader, that you're the one who ultimately is responsible. And if the king dies, the kingdom collapses. If you ever played the game of chess, I think the game of chess was brilliant, whoever created it. There is only one player, one piece on the chess board that is indispensable, that cannot die, and that is the king. If the king dies, game is over. Every other player and piece on the board is dispensable. The queen is more powerful than the king in chess, but she's dispensable. The kingdom can survive without the queen, but the kingdom cannot survive without the king. You are the leader. Now, you can argue with me all you want, but I'm talking about if you want to have a great relationship, you want to have a great marriage, you want to have a great life going forward that includes great romance and great love and great companionship and great sex and all of that kind of stuff, you have to stand up and realize you got to be a king. That you got to be able to protect, you got to be able to provide, you got to have faith that can move mountains, you have to lead with strength and courage and honor, all of that. And to do that, you have to give yourself permission to rise and take care of yourself first, to be true to yourself. The king must be true to himself and to his calling. Because if you're not true to yourself, you will never be able to be true to everybody else. So until you are first true to yourself, then you have the capacity and the strength and the resilience to be true to someone else and to your family and to other people. So number one, first word is permission. Second word is liberation. Liberation. And that is wherever you are in this process, free yourself from the dead relationship. Free yourself from the dead marriage. If the divorce is not final yet, my friend, get free. Do whatever you have to do to get that divorce settled. And I'm not saying the faster the better. I'm saying fast is better. I'm not saying be stupid. You need a good attorney that knows how to help you not make stupid mistakes. But there is very little benefit, if any, ever in extending a divorce and just letting it drag out. And especially if it's because you're like, I don't know, and you're indecisive and you're waiting for her to take action, waiting for her to file, waiting for her to do this. Stop waiting for somebody else to determine the future of your life. You take action and you liberate yourself. Until your divorce is final, my friend, you are not a free man. Okay? I'm going to talk a lot about this in future episodes, but free yourself from the dead relationship. On top of that is get liberated from the guilt. Get liberated from the shame, from the self-condemnation, from this attachment to the approval of others. Liberate yourself from all that. That does not serve you in any way. You've got to find a way to liberate yourself right now. Liberation. And the first place you liberate yourself is in your mind. It's like, I'm moving on with my life. I'm moving on with my life so that I can rebuild. It doesn't mean you need to immediately go out and jump on a bunch of dating apps and start trying to find another woman. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying you need to move on emotionally and let her go, let the failed marriage go, let the pain go, let the failure go, let all of that go. Stop trying to figure her out. Stop trying to prove yourself to her. Stop trying to save her and move on. Let the past go and liberate yourself so that you can build a future. So you can start rebuilding your life. And that leads to the third word, which is elevation. Elevation is at this moment in life, don't just choose to survive. I just want to get through this. True, you want to get through it, but you want to get through it so you can rise, so that you can elevate, that you can choose to rise and build your life and rebuild a life that is better than anything you ever had before. And my friend, I'm telling you right now, if you're in this place, as you're watching this or listening to this, and you're in this place of like going through the divorce pit, wherever you are in the actual divorce process, but you're still emotionally in this divorce pit. I know it seems dark at times, but I'm telling you, you are in the most powerful, wonderful spot that you will ever get to be in life, and that is this, because you're about to get a start over. And you can start over fresh. You can start over new. Like, yeah, but you don't understand, I'm hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Oh no, I do understand. I've been hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt going through a divorce. I've gone through a divorce that cost me millions. I understand the pain. I understand the guilt. I understand the shame. I understand the alienation. I get it. I got it. Been there, done that. But when you come out of that and you accept and you liberate yourself emotionally, and then you liberate yourself legally and financially, and you get to a point where it's like, and if you're not liberated financially because you got debt, it's not, your problem's not debt, your problem's income. You just got to make more money. Okay, I know it's easier said than done, but I'm just telling you, there is a path that puts you in a different place. And when you're in that different place, everything gets better. And here's the beauty of it. Now you can rebuild and you can start from scratch. You start fresh. The next time you get your shit together and then you go out and start dating and you find that perfect queen and you start building a relationship with her. If you do it right, the beauty of it is you can build a solid foundation. You don't start out making all the same mistakes you made in the last marriage, or in the last relationship that caused it to crash and burn. You can become a new man. Now, to do that, you have to become a new you to be able to build that kind of a new relationship. Otherwise, you just go into the same cycle of build and burn, build and burn, build and burn. That's what I did until my last divorce, when I'm like, okay, maybe this is me. Maybe it's me that needs to work on me. And that is where I went deep into the personal work on me. Out of that, as I sat on a beach in Costa Rica last year, is God said to me in a conversation in my journaling, He said, "You're my divorce prophet. I am sending you to men of faith who are divorced or going through divorce with a message of hope, a message of healing, and a message of victory." And it was out of that, this whole frame of divorce to victory emerged, that divorce is devastating, but the victory on the other side of it can be better than anything you ever imagined before. If you enjoyed this video and want to watch another one, you can click right here. If you want to see the entire podcast, click right here.